Hello, Shameless Squad. So I wanted to make a video under my videos tabs here talking about how astrology can actually help you understand your sexuality here. A lot of people will base astrology on compatibility with just the sun sign or just Venus or just Mars. No, we have to look at the chart holistically. So what up for all y'all that are new? I am Shamelessly Sexy Jackie, a certified sex therapist turned sexual confidence coach, and I use astrology as a tool to help people understand their sexuality and their turn-ons, turn-offs, desires, arousal, pleasure, intimacy, and more. And I'm also a psychic medium here, so if you are new, smash that subscribe button, boo, because I'm going to give you all the shameless sexuality when it comes to what you need to know about how astrology can really help you in understanding your sexuality overall. So, in regards to this, the point right off the bat that I want to make is it is not just about your sun sign, and compatibility is bullshit when you hear people say, oh, compatibility based off this sign and sun signs. Like, really, y'all? It's actually kind of freaking frustrating when there are books out there that only base it off of that, and then they compare one sign with another sign, right? And they don't actually look at also the moon and Mercury and Mars and Venus and put those things in particular of these books that are out there. I have not been able to find a book that is holistically looking at all of the planets in astrology. Let me say that again. I have not been able to find a book that is holistically looking at all of the planets in astrology, because the inner planets can really show us a lot of information about sexuality and how we show up in sex and relationships and everything like that. And the outer planets are kind of more slow moving, but they are background characters that could be influencing our sexuality going on in the story. And depending on where, they are placed in the birth chart, be it through the 12 houses, the signs, or wherever, if they are chart rulers, that still is pertinent information here that I think a lot of people get wrong specifically. So let's talk about it. The sun is like your sexual identity and the body and your sexual ego here, your confidence. The moon sign is your emotions, your intuition, your emotional intimacy. Your rising sign is your chart ruler. Based off of your rising sign, though, I've seen it where people have had multiple chart rulers, which is what is the planet that doms your chart the most here, and that can be important to really know how you take action in relationships and love and sex and pleasure here. Then you have Mercury. This is what you think about sex. This is limiting beliefs. This is mindset, and that can really show a lot of rich information in regards of potential blockages and fears and potentially how to move through those as well. I've also read and researched and learned that Saturn can also bring up anything in regards of fears, but it also talks about sexual lessons in relationships that we have to learn in birth chart, and a lot of people don't talk about that, okay? And then we have Mars, which is your sexual libido. It is your aggression. It is how you take action. It is your arousal here, okay? Which is super important when it comes to sexuality and turn-ons overall. Then you have your Venus, which is the planet of love, money, pleasure, values, material possessions, which of course can influence sexuality too, okay? Then we also have the outer planets of Jupiter here, which can also talk about like where you might want to sexually expand in regards of sexual experiences, your sexuality, things like that overall. And then we have Pluto, which might also be like hidden mysteries of sex, kinks of sex, different types of fantasies potentially, but Neptune can also be fantasies that might be hidden or showing up in the dream realm. And so a lot of times when people are like, oh my God, I had a sex dream and I woke up and, oh, is this normal? Yes, that happens, right? And so there's a lot of hidden mysteries, not only with Pluto, but also Neptune here with exploring like the sexual fantasies and the romance and like the spiritual like sacredness of sex itself and relationships and love and pleasure here. And then we also have Uranus, which is like sexual, let me put myself out there, let me try this, let me do this new thing, let me be innovative, right? And so these planets are really important when it comes to all these different things, as well as like, different types of asteroids and minor planets and all these different kinds of things, right? That could really come up in overall in the birth chart. And so there's a lot of lessons. A lot of people talk about Lilith, and that can also be a point in the chart where it talks about your shadow work, your fears with sex, your dark femininity. And then there's also Chiron, which is the wounded healer, which talks about different relational patterns and how we've been hurt the most in relationships, how that could be showing up in our current life, wounds around that, and sex and intimacy and pleasure. So, Shameless Squad, I just wanted to create this video to share with all of you. It is not just based on your sun sign, boo, right? I did a short about this, and I talked about how my partner and I, we've been together for 7 years. 7 years. My sun is Cancer. His sun is Aquarius. Should we be together, y'all? Technically, no. Okay? But we have to look at those other planets and those other placements and signs overall. And it's not just even about that. It's about how are they aspecting in your natal birth chart, their natal birth chart, and then your compatibility birth chart together. And so a lot of times it's important for us to master the lessons in our sexual astrology birth chart natally in order to use that moving forward with a partner, spouse, relationships, whatever it might be. So Shameless Squad, these are my shamelessly sexy secrets in regards of astrosexuality. What questions do you have? Drop them in the comments below. If you want to get on my offerings in the future list with some of this stuff, definitely go to stayshameless.com and put your name in the newsletter box. You get a freebie download of my Shameless Communication Skills Guide and everything like that. But no, I don't spam. Your girl doesn't have time or energy for that anyway. But that is when you will first know when my offerings are becoming open again in regards of readings and different things as well too. So come back, make sure to hit that subscribe button if this was helpful for you, like this video, and I will be sharing more information on this too. So as always, I love you. Stay tuned for more and stay shameless.